Now for a recap and our race break as Kyle Busch took the lead 4 laps in. Martin Truex Jr. started on the pole. Mark Martin on the outside. Busch, who led 50 laps and took the lead for the 5th straight time in a Daytona 500 race. He led the most laps in last year's race. Dale Earnhardt Jr., former Daytona 500 winner in 2004 with a 1-lap lead here. And then Travis Kvapil, tire problem.
Yeah, he had a right front tire go down, hits the outside safety barriers really hard, bringing out another caution. And during that caution period, Dale Earnhardt Jr., well, he misses his pit box and had to go all the way around. You can see right there, Tony Eury Jr. was not one bit happy about that.
Junior currently 22nd, and Joey Logano with rookie Scott Speed. The rookies mix it up, and hard hits in Logano, the 18-year-old okay. But both rookies tangling like they did in the Budweiser shootout. So, Jeff, as we look at this point, Kyle Busch, Jeff Gordon, in fact, all the Hendrick cars, with the exception of Jimmy Johnson, who's going for his 4th straight championship, have led so far as we near the halfway point.
Well, I think we're getting a pretty good idea of maybe how this thing's going to shape up toward the end. We know Kyle Busch is strong. We know Jeff Gordon is good. And don't forget Tony Stewart. But you mentioned Jimmy Johnson. Do not think for 1 minute that Chad Knaus has given up on getting this 48 car toward the front. He'll keep working on it. And in the end, they have their way about it. He'll be right in the thick of things.
From your AT&T phone, text the car number for the pit crew you think will be the fastest and most valuable in today's race to 2258. The AT&T Fastest Pit Crew of the Year award, delivered by AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network.
Thanks, Chris. I want to say a quick hello to Robbie Weiss, NASCAR's Vice President of Broadcasting, recuperating in a hospital after a stroke. They're going to move him to rehab next week, and the prognosis is very good. Robbie, we miss you. Let's get ready to race. 85 laps complete, and it is Kyle Busch in front of Jeff Gordon, 2 of the 3 odds-on favorites for the Daytona 500. Bring them down to the green flag. John Andretti got the free pass, so 38 cars are on the lead lap. And Busch comes down to the bottom as Ryan Newman is trying to get there with help from Denny Hamlin. Newman is 2 laps behind.
And the only car we have that's 1 lap down right now is Robbie Gordon in that 7 car.
Three of NASCAR's best drivers had inauspicious debuts in the 500. Buddy Baker finished 40th. Ernie Irvan 41st. Cale Yarborough 48th. Add Joey Logano to that list. He's been released from the care center. He's with Matt.
Mikey just walked up, and Joey, walk us through what happened on the racetrack with you.
It just looked like the 82 was loose in front of me, and I dropped down a lane underneath him, and as he kept slowing up, I eventually got underneath him. And you know, he checked up so much that the 16 got in the left rear, and it's one of those deals. It's a bummer for all the Home Depot guys. You know, make the big debut here in the 500, but not the way we wanted to end. Still felt like I learned a lot, but not what we wanted.
All right, thank you, Joey.
Thanks.
Still believe we're going to be hearing a lot out of that young man in the future.
Oh, he'll learn. He's a sharp kid. I've seen him race in ARCA and in the Nationwide Series. He'll learn. This is a tough old joint right here. You know, back in 1958 when Paul Goldsmith won the last race on the beach and they built this place has intimidated many a great driver, young and old.
Took Darrell 17 years to win this race. Took Dale Earnhardt 20 tries.
There.
Oh, things are getting dicey here.
Yes, they are. Look at them. 3 wide by about 5 rows, 6 rows.
That is an incredible pack behind the leaders. Golly. Front row starters, Martin Truex Jr. currently 9th, and Mark Martin in that bright yellow number 5, the 50-year-old sentimental favorite to win the 500 among many. In fact, Mark Martin's souvenir sales are in the top 5 of all drivers this week, and he's currently 6th. Krista.
Well, let's update you on our pole sitter. You know, after he won the pole, Martin Truex said this is the best car as far as speed goes that he's ever had at any plate track. He said he just needed it to get handling a little bit better, and handling is the trouble. Right now, Martin said he had no grip at all before that stop. Steve?
Well, Krista, Mark Martin is relating to Alan Gustafson. He said, I get too tight at the end of the run. We need to adjust the car to last longer and be there at the end.
And as we mentioned earlier, one reason the car will get tighter, meaning the front wheels won't turn as he turns the steering wheel, as you burn that fuel load off and it gains weight on the front tire.
Let me just tell you, I guess they're racing to halfway. I don't know.
That's it. Look at this snarling pack. The whole complexion of this race has changed because the weather has changed. If we reach 100 laps, that's the halfway point of the race. And if it's called any time from there on, it's an official race. And the payout is according to who's running where at the time the last caution flag, or the red flag, is waved, that is.
Yep.
So instead of racing to lap 200, we're racing to lap 100, and who knows how many laps after that.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll see. Race to 100 right here, then we'll come back down.
Larry, that changes everything.
Well, it does. I mean, you have to start thinking about strategy-wise and everything. We were last on pit road at lap 82. We know we can go well past the halfway to about lap 124 before we have to think about tires and fuel.
Here's another question from Ask.com, the official search engine of NASCAR. Why was Lake Lloyd created in the infield of Daytona International Speedway? Just ask. Go to Ask.com for the answer. Ask.com, official search engine of NASCAR. This is a whole different race from what we saw in the first 60 laps.
Yeah, if they keep going like this, next thing we're going to hear is caution out. You okay?
Yeah, the only thing we're not seeing any different is that cat up there pulling them around this place. So Kyle Busch in that 18 car, and he has Ryan Newman stuck between he and his teammate Denny Hamlin in the 11. Ryan 2 laps down. But I tell you, you're right. What a comeback by Martin Truex Jr., our pole sitter, because he had fallen all the way back to about 30th, and it looks like they definitely have made that car better as he's back up in the top 5.
Well, with this car, with this restrictor plate package and this car, you're never out of the race. As long as you can stay on the lead lap, these cars make such a huge air pocket for you to run into that they'll suck you right back up into the race if you got a pretty good car.
Doing a great job, man. Disappointment. Newman's up there running second, but he's 2 or 3 laps down.
David Stremme, number 12 for Roger Penske. That's the team that won this race last year. He is 15th, and you're riding with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who missed his pit stall on the last stop, had to start tail end Charlie, and now Jr. moving back up into the top 15.
Yeah, he is. I've been watching him. He's making some pretty erratic moves, too. He's been inside, outside. He's trying to get back up there.
Watch the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, stuck in the middle. Yikes. Junior is making the kind of moves that you expect to see from an Earnhardt in the last 10 laps of the race, not with 10 laps to halfway.
Well, I think what he's worried about the weather, and he doesn't want that pit mistake to cost him a good finish. So I think he's really hustling hard to get back up there where he thinks he needs to be.
Outside the 2 at your door, all the way on the high side now. 33 is coming to help you on the bottom. He's 2 back.
When we come back, we'll cross the 100 lap mark, 250 miles, and after that, it's game on. We have an official race.